Yeah, some kind of interaction with. Yeah.
Hey
Yeah.
guys, hey, welcome to the stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
It just has that little,
And that's the intro. Hey, my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus. So before we get into this video, I wanted to say a couple things before we got into the thick of it. This is the first of what hopefully will be more to come. I really enjoyed this style and this type of video, especially just kind of sitting down and just spitting and chatting back and forth with a friend and hopefully more friends about things we love and things like that. And WoW, Diablo, Blizzard, Bizzcon as a whole. Definitely first time I've ever done anything like this, so I want to definitely keep working on it and make it better. One of the things I wasn't able to set up immediately was the second webcam, so you could see my buddy who I'm talking to. Hopefully for the next one I'll be able to get that set up and do that. And then again, the more we do it, and the more I do it, I like to have more of a preset list of topics to go into and talk about, rather than one big topic and see what we could talk about in there. But for the first one, it seemed like a good thing to do, seemed like it was fun. BlizzCon as a whole is a pretty major topic, and I wanted to be respectful of my buddy's time and not keep him here with me all night while we were talking about this. So I hope you guys can forgive a lot of the scatterbrain talk. We were having just a good time chit-chatting back and forth, and I'm terrible at tangents. I will be talking to myself and distract myself. So just throwing that out there. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoy the video, and I'll catch you soon. Thanks. Hey my friends, how's it going? It's Ultimus, and it has been a week. I am joined by my friend Justice, Touchpadwarrior. You probably already know him from Twitch. He's got a legendary beard. So basically doing a little bit of a recap for BlizzCon this week. Took a little bit of a minute to get this down and done. We both got busy lives. It is what it is. But yeah, I wanted to sit down and chat with somebody about BlizzCon. All the cool stuff we saw. The big focus will obviously be World of Warcraft. That's what we mainly play. I think we both dabble in and out and dip in and out of Overwatch when it piques our interest, and then when we decide we're tired of it, we kind of finish. Same with Hearthstone, Heroes of the Storm, all the other games. We got a lot of love for it, but WoW will always be the main squeeze. So Justice has done multiple BlizzCons. You said you've done what, 6 or 7?
Yeah, this is my 6th BlizzCon this year.
Nice. This is my first. I scored tickets last minute and was able to go. Luckily, I'm just a hop, skip, and a jump away from the convention center, so it wasn't like I had to find last minute travel.
Yeah, on many years as I have, if it wasn't for the fact that I'm 40 minutes away.
Yeah.
Like less than an hour. I think even if I was at an hour, I'd be like,
Do I really want to go? Yeah, exactly. So, I guess let's just jump right into it. What we want to do today is I want to talk about just kind of our thoughts on BlizzCon, what we're excited about, what kind of we were kind of indifferent on, some of the stuff that's coming up. So what was, as far as announcements go, what was kind of the thing that got you the most excited? What was the thing that really had you raising your eyebrows and all of a sudden you were sitting up in your chair, not leaning back?
I mean, the trick would be getting a chair. So
Accurate.
I think I was standing at one of the second stages.
How did I get a chair and you didn't? I had a chair for every.
I was there, man.
You were,
and like,
yeah.
The first couple of years, like I really fixated on getting a seat.
Yeah.
And then from then on, I was like, I can see it. Like, because like the previous years, they didn't have a great setup. It was just one stage.
Gotcha.
And then the other stages.
That would make sense.
A screen. And then they fixed it so that, like, last year actually, I think they did it a little better.
Okay.
Because they had.
Oops.
They did it like they did this year, where they had each panel had a different like stage, right? So there was the Warcraft stage, there was the Diablo stage, there was the Here's the Storm stage. They had it all separated. And this year compared to last year, they took up not just that area of the convention center, but another secondary large room just for Hearthstone.
Right. I feel
so
like
I actually went to the Hearthstone one, and it was vacant. It was huge. And then when the Hearthstone announcement happened, lights went on, and like it was the developers for Hearthstone there. It was really cool.
That's actually where we were at for opening ceremony. Believe it or not, we ended up at the Hearthstone one.
Yeah, and that was neat. But I don't know. They restricted, I guess, how many people were there, or I guess they realized they didn't need all of that space
for sure.
So they didn't rent it all out. They still did the same thing. You know, they had a Diablo stage, they had a WoW stage, and whatnot.
Right.
But I don't know. It felt a little little more organized. But they had way more coverage on way more screens this year for the ceremony. And
that was nice.
No matter where you were, you could see it.
Yeah, and speaks.
In previous years, you had to race in to get it, and then there's a fire hazard. And then the stage.
Yeah, I bet you, I'd be willing to put money on the fact that that's probably why they changed it up. Someone, the fire marshal, probably talked to him. He's like, "Hey, so this is the thing." But speaking of screens and seeing it everywhere, what was kind of crazy, was interesting, was when we were walking in the convention. I know you saw the same thing when you saw that, like, basically the parental advisory billboard that they have up. I was like, that's got to be Diablo. It's like, because Blizzard does not do sexually explicit content. Like, unless they let the Tumblr fans get a hold of Overwatch and do the cinematic for Overwatch. That's
things flopping around everywhere.
Oh my goodness.
Some of them smile, some people are really weirded out.
Exactly. But yeah, so we saw that and I was like, that's got to be Diablo. And yeah, I mean, for sure that trailer, that was intense.
Beautiful.
I loved it.
I don't know if you went back because like it was kind of hard to get like the timestamp in your head.
Yeah.
When you're watching because you're just so enthralled in everything that's happening.
Yeah.
But like we went back to watch it, so we showed it to my girlfriend Melissa. 2 nights afterwards or whatnot.
For sure.
We watched it. There was like a 9-minute plus video.
Yes, it was. That was almost a 10-minute video.
Yeah. That's a gnarly like opening cinematic like for a reveal of a game.
Yeah.
They usually had like 3 or 4 minutes, and even the WoW one I think was 8+ too, wasn't it? Like
it was long. It was long, but they were all long.
A lot of detail.
I think that's gotta be. I feel like at this point, if Blizzard wanted to release full-length movies or shows, they would have done it. But that's gotta be Blizzard messing with that idea at least a little bit.
Yeah, I think
that or they just knew they had to show something huge this year, and so they were like, let's just go all in on what we do really, really good, and that's trailers that get people hype. I could see that being a thing too.
Yeah, and like it was fucking WoW's 15th anniversary.
Yeah,
like, that's a big monument.
That's a huge deal.
Diablo had been like, if you look at the convention maps over the past 6 years,
yeah,
like, Diablo had like the first year I went, it was 3 games. That was it.
Right.
So 30% of the convention was shit I cared about, and then I eventually cared about Diablo. So 66% of the fucking and as time went on, they added more games. Like Diablo just kept getting shoveled into the corner.
Yeah.
Over time because there wasn't new content for it.
Kind of what StarCraft is now.
Eventually, it was a small section of the Darkmoon Fair.
Right.
Like, it was sad to see.
And was that during Diablo 3 or just before Diablo 3?
That was during Diablo 3.
Yeah, oof. That's rough. That's like redheaded stepchild status right there.
Wow.
No, it wasn't.
It's not like I heard that one.
Was not intentional.
Yeah, it was a subsection of the Darkmoon Fair. I felt bad. And people that were still diehard fans that would love to be there for it, like, they were there, and honestly, from what I heard from those people that were still diehard fans of Diablo, even in its like lull period, was that the developers really cared and were like really intimate with like what people's feedback was about the game and everything, really trying to hustle and make it good.
Right.
And that was like the best thing about it. Even though it was smaller, it was more concentrated and people were focusing on it.
That's almost better though, in general. Like I feel like once things get too big though, it's hard to maintain quality. It's hard to maintain direction. Because you get too many, it's like when you call into the phone company and you're trying to get an answer for why your service isn't working, and all of a sudden you get directed to 3 or 4 different departments and nobody has answers for you. It's the same problem. Exactly. So Diablo, fantastic. I'm excited about it. My first Blizzard game was actually Diablo 2. Was actually me and my buddy Marcus. We were hanging out with like 16, 17. It was like right after we both got our driver's licenses. And we were heading up to a little local LAN cafe, and we were hanging out, dropping our couple bucks here and there. And we would play Diablo while everybody else in the LAN cafe was playing Counter-Strike. So it was like, because at the time that was, yeah, I mean, and it was one of those things where everybody, obviously, like, everyone was like cool, but most of those people were trying to compete with Counter-Strike. They were trying to compete, or not within, they were trying to compete in Counter-Strike, because that was when that was really taken off, and all of a sudden, everybody had a Counter-Strike team, everybody played Counter-Strike. Yeah. And neither of us were ever into shoot 'em up games. Like, I think as crazy as we got with any of our shooter games was we played GoldenEye back today in the Nintendo 64. And I think that was probably about it. Like, I completely skipped over the whole Call of Duty phase. I skipped over that entire Counter-Strike phase, and I just went like straight into Diablo because I was like, his swords is really, really bloody. It's a trip.
Yeah, especially at that time, it was like you didn't see a lot of gory games up there, and like if there were, like, you couldn't find them at a Blockbuster.
There's no way.
Happen.
There's no way. Let alone even getting it in my house. Like there was no way. it just wasn't happening. But yeah, so Diablo will always be special to me just for that reason. And so to kind of see where it's come with Diablo 3, be really, really hyped for that game, kind of see it fizzle out and see how much they just kind of let it stagnate, which I could make the devil's, or play devil's advocate and make the argument that I'm probably sure they were doing that just because of development on D4. Because D4 looked really polished. I mean, at least those small little zones that we had to play in. Damn
it, I'm sorry. I just saw the person log in.
Yeah.
His name is Game Shark.
Throw it back. This is a retro WoW stream. I should have got out all my old metal music that I thought was cool. Yeah, Game Boy Color. I'm not. Dang it, my pants aren't bagging enough. Where's my ball bearing necklace? Oh, you know what? I can never do a retro stream. I can't regrow hair. It wouldn't work. It wouldn't work.
Okay, I'd have to shave this off. That's not gonna fucking happen.
Yeah, exactly. It's not. We've come to a stalemate. And so, going through all of that with Diablo, now just seeing what we have with Diablo 4. They said it's not ready soon, not even by Blizzard soon, and I have to believe it because I don't have any reason not to. But I just
at least let us know.
I have a feeling we're still going to see a release next year. I don't know why.
Are you really going to push it?
I think because they have to recover from Immortal. They just do. And this is coming from someone who is going to play Immortal. The majority of my game time now is spent on my mobile phone because I got a toddler to watch after, or we're hanging out with that. And so when she's watching Frozen for the 7th time, I'm not exactly engaged. I'm watching her because I care about her, but I'm probably going to be playing a game on my phone and stuff like that. And so stuff like that is perfect. So, but even as someone who I will play that game in moderation because I will probably not be spending money on microtransactions on it. But even I was like, they got to recover from that.
I think business standpoint was they were hoping that was going to do well because it's their only mobile game.
Yeah, and to be fair, it will.
They're going to use the funds from that to help
D4
funnel into D4.
It's possible.
It would help push it, but that didn't happen.
And without diving too much into murky waters, just stating facts here. Because of the company that's handling it, because of the market for it, it will do well. It will do well overseas. It will do well in China.
Yeah.
Just because that's Korea, China, the majority of the gaming market over there is mobile. And that's just what it is. And so that game will do well. That game will make Blizzard money. And monetarily speaking, it will be a success. How fun it is, who knows? I was kind of like, I didn't really feel interested in going over and playing it too much. I was like, I'll play it. I'll download it when it comes out. And if I enjoy it, cool. If not, I'll delete it off my phone. And it is what it is. Yeah, so definitely excited about D4. What they showed for the demo there, again, I was actually surprised at how big the zone was that they let us play in. At the first time I played it, I actually timed out. I didn't even get into the dungeon. Or I just stepped foot into the dungeon because I was just out exploring. I was just having a good time exploring, just looking at the world. I was having fun playing my barbarian, leaping up walls and stuff like that, and up the cliffs and stuff. Just trying to test stuff out and see, like, okay, what does mobility feel like? Because for me, at least with a game like Diablo, like, when you're clicking to move, like, it's got to be responsive. So I was checking out and trying to see, okay, navigation has to be smooth and combat has to be really quick. And my buddy was playing his druid, which he said was a lot of fun. I can't play anything but a barb in Diablo. Yeah, I have a feeling.
I'm gonna end up rolling barb as well.
Yeah.
Or like if they have Templars again. Or not Templars. Crusaders, right?
Crusaders. Used to be Paladins, now they're Crusaders. Yeah.
Yeah, because man, like D3 had so much fun. Just like there was that shattering like shield spec that you could go.
Oh yeah.
Batter around like crazy.
Yep.
I had way too much fun just flinging shields at people.
Doing that, and I hope to God, with Diablo 4, the end game relies, and I think they hinted at this or at least talked about it in the What's Next or the deep dive. But I really hope they move away from just doing rifts for endgame, which they mentioned they were wanting to, which has me excited because, like, to me again, rifts are like Mythic Plus and WoW. Like, I can do them, they're fun, but I ain't doing more than a couple of week tops. It's not
like you can keep trying to hunt for a specific item or something, but it's the same shit over and over, and it gets tiring. And that's why I don't do the seasonal things. I'm like, I've leveled up before. I just want to play the game. I just want to batter some things, mess some specs.
Exactly. I'll be really curious to see what they announce class-wise, what are the classes they're going to announce. Because as soon as they started talking about Diablo 2, I leaned over to my buddy. I said, next is going to be Assassin or Druid. And then they were like, and the Druid. And I was like, there it is. So I'll be very, very curious to see what they do next. I would love to see them keep the Demon Hunter in and the Monk. I thought those were really, really fun. And if the game was received well, and if it does well, obviously there's no reason why they couldn't or wouldn't just add them in with later patches and expansions.
Right.
You know, I think a lot of it's just going to depend on how well the game does, how well it's received. I think not having the real money auction house right off the bat will be a good thing forward, because it was such a cool concept, but it really didn't work. That was one of those great on paper, actual practicality, not so much.
And you can't foresee them until you actually have it in the
That's the thing. I'll stuff like that, I'll never fault Blizzard for trying, especially like with some of the crazier stuff they've done in WoW. Like, same thing. It's like, I don't, with as far as like game developing goes and stuff like that, it's like you never know what's gonna work until you try it. And when you're a multi-billion-dollar company like that with lots of money and revenue riding on it and stuff like that, and
resources.
That's the chance, and I have to respect the chance.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna love it. Doesn't mean I'm not gonna give feedback, because that's obviously what's necessary. But yeah, I respect the I respect the chance. So Diablo 4 on the flow, but it does look really, really good. I'm excited about it. It looks like it's going to be a huge game. Like, it looks like it's going to be a very large game. There's going to be a lot to do. It looks like the maps are going to be large. I'm hoping the campaign, the story mode, is significant. Simply because of the fact that obviously it's content to play, and if I'm paying, $50-$60 for a game, I want to get my money's worth.
Right.
But if they can deliver that kind of game, I know it will do well, and that will really, really just kind of be like a nice thumbs up and a thank you to the fans and people that have really stuck it through, because there's a lot of people that are like, man, I love Diablo so much, but it's so hard to play D3, but they still play it. Yeah. So I think that would be really, really good.
Yeah, we can't feel that way about WoW sometimes. Yeah.
Oh, 100%. Well, I was thinking about this earlier, speaking of WoW. I stayed subbed during some of the worst times in WoW, and I realized I was unsubbed during some of the best times. I was completely unsubbed almost all of Wrath of the Lich King. I played on a private server. Because I couldn't afford it.
Right.
I was like, that's weird. I was like, I played all throughout the entirety of WoD.
Positive outlook.
I mean,
yeah, it was cool.
This may sound really silly, man, but I view the WoW the same way I view my marriage. Like, sometimes it's ugly, but it's worth it. And I'm gonna stick with it probably until it dies, until it's dead in the ground. Like, it's just
to the marriage, not to
both. I tell my friends all the time. I was like, I'll be playing WoW till that thing goes offline.
Yeah, same.
I mean, however hardcore I play, that's to be seen.
Yeah.
But I'll be playing. Even if I'm just running around mining. Like,
I mean, shoot, we got our friendship out of it.
Yeah, 100%. I hilariously enough, yeah, it was through Instagram, through WoW. Yep. You're not wrong. So yeah, very, very excited about Diablo 4. And I'm really actually hoping we get some crossplay between consoles. That would make my day.
That. Or was that just for Overwatch?
I feel like that was a thing they were talking about, but I wasn't able to find anything to confirm it.
You didn't? Okay.
I didn't look super hard though, because I was doing mostly WoW research today.
So they said that's the goal.
Okay. Good enough for me.
Crossplay multiplayer is the goal.
Cool. I mean, that's all I can ask for right now. At this point. I mean.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And like, one of the exciting things that we haven't touched up on that yet was PvP for it.
Yeah.
Like,
that's true.
I'm curious how to see how that works, because like, the only other game I played that was like MMO related before WoW was RuneScape.
Gotcha.
And so like PvP RuneScape was gnarly, dude. Like, you didn't want to go too far north, and like, you got killed, you dropped your items.
Yep.
And someone else could pick them up.
That's part of that's part of a hardcore.
So
I gotta
probably have like hardcore PvP and
people do it.
PvP.
I have a buddy who only plays hardcore, and he's like, "Want to play?" I'm like, "It's not for me."
Yeah, I can't do it.
Oh, dude, because I wouldn't even get mad. I would just be like, "Oh, that was a waste of time." So Overwatch 2, not really surprised. Everybody knew it was coming. I think that's actually my only complaint about BlizzCon this year was everything was leaked, more or less.
Yep. Well, the cool thing about each leak, right?
Right.
So it was like Diablo 4 was pretty much confirmed because it was in catalog for, I think it was Russian.
It was a German magazine. Yeah.
A German magazine, like some kind of art.
Yeah, they had the art of Lilith. Yeah, there in the book.
Like, dude, how did that pass by so many restrictions and whatnot. And then for Overwatch 2, nobody expected it at all until I think it was ESPN.
Yeah.
That released the full coverage. Like, oh yeah, and Overwatch 2 is going to be announced at BlizzCon. It's like,
yeah.
Why not wait till Blizz? I'm really curious to read some transcripts.
Yeah.
Between the two companies about that whole fiasco because they were not happy about it.
Yeah.
Blizzard was not happy about it.
How much stuff slipped through the cracks?
That information to certain news
right.
providers and whatnot, and they're probably even paying for it. I would imagine so. Like, hey, like would love to be able to be the first to post about this game, so get as much information as possible, so we can get traction on our websites, etc.
Right.
Et so they probably broke some kind of contract.
I would imagine someone might be in the doghouse after that one.
Yeah.
Maybe not lost their job, but take a week vacation.
Yeah.
Take a week's. Yeah. Stay out of the office. Weeks unpaid vacation, by the way. But yeah, I'm excited about it. My sentiments on Overwatch are I hate that they continuously keep making me care about Overwatch. Because I want to be done with it. I really do.
Like emotionally?
Emotionally, gameplay, dude, I'm such a sucker for that good guy hero stuff, dude. I'm like, you see the good guys running in doing good guy hero things, saving the day. I'm over here tearing up I can't help it. I love that hero. Let me put my life on the line archetype. Like, yeah, I'm a sucker for it, dude. I'm a sucker for it. So you see those Overwatch trailers coming through, and all of a sudden looks like someone's following me around cutting onions. Man, I was at my house.
They're so beautifully done.
They're so good. I feel like it's like if it feels like if Blizzard and Pixar had a love child, which is how well it's done, and just how it pulls on your heartstrings. Man, I was at my house cooking dinner a couple nights after BlizzCon. I was just getting stuff ready. I don't even remember what I was making, man, but I was rewatching some of the stuff again. The Overwatch came in, and I was like, man, that same fool from BlizzCon followed me home was cutting onions in my... I was like, I don't even need onions for what I'm cooking tonight, and I'm just over here tearing up as I'm cutting food. Like, this is stupid.
Yeah. And crazy enough, I'm so obsessed with some of the characters and how they are and how they do the development for it.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking play the game, dude.
Yeah.
Sorry, I swear.
I don't care. I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
I'm gonna pour a cocktail then soon too. Breathing from doing that. I have so many Reinhardt figurines and stuff all around my house just because I love Reinhardt as a character.
Dude, that scene.
I Overwatch with it, but at the time that I was trying to play with my buddies, not viable, and I was also trashed. Again, playing with touchpad, trying to play any kind of FPS-ish game.
It's rough.
Take me hours. I'll get it.
Yeah.
But it's gonna take me a lot of dedication to grasp where my mouse or cursor sensitivity needs to be and whatnot.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a whole different.
I have a fascination with Reinhardt. I even have a little guy right here. I have so much Reinhardt stuff just because
right.
of his character.
He's one of my favorite pop vinyls that I have. He looks sick.
Yeah.
But even his little bit in that cinematic was probably one of my favorites, where he's like, I have been called, I must answer. Just that sense of duty. That's just it, cut and dry. That's the line. That's it. That's all there is to it. And that's when I was like, I was just like, this sucks. It's stupid. I hate you, Blizzard. But because I feel like, hilariously enough, as much as for years and years it's been tried to be touted around as though it has this fantastic story, it's got a pretty weak story right now in Overwatch. Everything feels very, very much an afterthought, and I haven't read any of the comics or anything either, though, too, so I could be completely wrong, but it just feels like so much of it is an afterthought, and it's there, and it should have been flushed out a long time ago. So my thoughts on Overwatch 2 are, I'm excited about it, I'm definitely going to play it, I love that my skins are going to carry over, because I used to drop maybe 50 to 60 bucks a month on skins. I would take my tip money from my coffee shop jobs and just, cool, there we go, that was easy, that was...
Again, without playing, if I saw a Reinhardt skin, I was like,
yeah.
I come with that.
You're like, well...
Playing the game, but I want to have it.
Time to dish out the money, because it was always just in case I start playing, right? Because you want those cool skins.
Yep. Exactly.
So
how many times do you try to play another game where you abandoned it for a little while, and then you try to come in and play, and you see some skin for a character you really care about? When did that happen?
You're like, and I don't have all the cool things. Yep.
No.
That's exactly it. So I'm definitely gonna play. I'm excited about it. I think it feels like it should have been out a while ago. Not necessarily a game, but just having a co-op mode. Co-op on Overwatch should have been part of the game a long time ago, but better late than never. So
it's better to have it flushed out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we don't know yet. But
exactly.
Have it flushed out.
I'm definitely going to be curious about pricing. I think that's my main concern. Simply because so much of what they've talked about already, you just get in Overwatch 1, which is cool, which is really, really cool. But I'm also like, are they going to be charging $40, $50 for content that feels like it could be? Too,
yeah. Right? So they don't want, like, they're trying to sway away from that. Oh, you have to buy boxes to gamble to get the skins you want.
Which that could be interesting, too, with how laws are changing and all that. Exactly. I don't know how much you're keeping up with all that, but...
I would imagine they would increase the price and then make it so, like, you continuously just do, like, dailies.
Yeah.
And get boxes for that.
Right.
Yeah, and I'd like to see it at, like, price between 20 to 40. 40 being the cap.
Yeah, 40 feels like a lot. 40 to me would feel 20 or 30 would feel reasonable, but it will more than likely be 40.
Yeah. So like average game price nowadays is $60.
Exactly.
If you want to get DLC stuff and like pre-order or whatnot, it's like 80 or something like that.
Yeah.
So like 60 is like, okay, that game better have like a lot of content to it.
Yeah.
Like I watched Melissa play Red Dead Redemption 2 and like that was expensive. Like that was
there's a lot to that game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it was like well worth the money.
Right.
And then there's like other times where she'll buy a game, she's like, cool, I'm done with it. That was kind of
dude. Yeah.
Like so it needs to be long enough that you feel like it was totally worth it. And so that was like an interactive movie for her. And every time she would come home from work, she'd play that for a few hours and be like so excited about playing it.
Yeah. You wanted to turn the system on.
You need to make it worth the $60.
Yeah.
Because there's so many games out there on the market. It is very flooded. And it better be whatever you're getting, it better be good for that price. So if they're going to have Overwatch 2 and it's just that by itself, it's standalone, because you can just get Overwatch, right? So it better not be more than 40. Like,
yeah.
And if it is 40, then it better come with a lot of stuff. So maybe we'll see like something like how they do the Shadowlands box, or like tiers of it.
Right.
Because I think they had something similar when they originally launched Overwatch, right? So it's
they do. They always do. Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll probably something like that where it's like 30, but if you want to spend 50, you get all this.
Exactly. Get some cool skins that you can only get by pre-purchasing.
Of course.
Because they had I think it was like a Hanzo and like a Tracer skin they had for pre-purchasing, or no, it was a Soldier skin and a Tracer skin, something like that for pre-purchasing Overwatch. Yeah. So that, no doubt. But yeah, I would definitely purchase it if it was no more than 40. Anything more than that would be like, we'll see. It feels like so much of what they were talking about, like we said, you're just gonna get for having Overwatch.
Right.
So we'll have to see.
You don't want the price to be too high that you have people guessing if they want to purchase it or not. You want people to be like stunned.
Yeah.
Like you don't want them to think about it. Like businessy wise, like you want to have it there as an option, and like people don't second guess it. If they have even like a good interest in it, like a slightly good interest in it, they don't want to have that person purchasing it like to question, do I want that? Because if they already have to have that as a mentality, then they set the price too high. Yeah. You want it to be low enough and sell a lot.
Exactly.
Have it be too high, meet your sales mark, but then not have people playing it.
Right.
Having people playing it is like personal advertisement. Because how many times have you had like a friend like, hey, you should play this game with me?
100%. Hearthstone. Let's see if we can get to this real quick. Excited about it. I dabble in Hearthstone. I dip in and dip out. I'm excited about dragons. Pretty much anything with dragons in it, I'll dip in and check out for a little bit. Yeah. Probably won't spend money on it. Because I just don't have money.
But I caught up with Hearthstone a lot because I played when it was beta, and the only reason I played beta was because I was like, well, it's not going to matter. It wipes. And my buddy was like, no, it doesn't. My cards is like, okay, I'm playing beta. And then from then on, like when they made the like monthly card back, I kept up with it for like 2 years. Okay. I always had the card back, and then I changed the system of it. And there was like 1 month where I just forgot to play. Right. And then like I immediately stopped caring, and it sucked that it was just that. It's such a silly thing with how many card backs they have and whatnot. Yeah. But like, that disinterested me. Yeah. I'm not saying that's a good, feasible or plausible reason why to. Right. But that's what happened to me personally. And I still even have it on my phone. Right. But I don't like take the time, because at one point the meta became, there was like a decent amount of rush decks that worked, and there was a decent amount of like longevity, like really trying to grind up and get your ranks. Okay. Deck play. Those games ended up running 25 to 30 minutes. Gotcha. I was like, I'm at the mall with my girlfriend. I don't know if it's going to be 20 minutes or if it's going to be 10. Like, yeah. And so like I didn't want to invest into a long game for it. I liked Hearthstone because it was quick. Like, get into the game and get another match. Go.
I have a hard time getting into games or digital card games. I just, as someone who grew up playing the physical card games. It's just hard to enjoy it. I still love it, and I have a ton of respect and love for the people that are good at it. Lord knows I'm about as dumb as bricks. So yeah, Hearthstone, cool. Like I said, I'll probably dip in and dip out. I played it on my phone the other day. I was like, this is kind of cool. Check it out.
Their expansions are bad, so it's gonna be good.
Yeah. The only time I was ever somewhat decent at Hearthstone was when they did all the old god stuff, and I happened into some of the best cards to put together the Priest Cthulhu deck, and I just steamrolled through people, and it made me so happy.
And I feel like that's part of the other thing that could get you into it or not.
Yeah.
It's like for a while I was doing like the pre-purchase. You get like a whole bunch of packs. You get bonus packs. I would save up, and then after opening like 55 plus packs that I saved up all my gold for and stuff, that I didn't get anything I could use, or maybe only got like 2 legendaries out of it. It didn't motivate me to do anything.
Right.
You're like, well, I can't work with these.
Yeah.
And like, you can disenchant them, get your dust, craft this thing, but like it's too early in the expansion that you don't know what's good to invest into or not.
Right.
So you're kind of just like sitting there stalemate, like playing a few games and getting destroyed by people that have better luck.
Let's talk about WoW. That's what we both love the most. That's what we're here for. What was your initial thoughts on the Shadowlands trailer? Because you actually, initially, I want to bring this up because you didn't actually think we were going to get an expansion announcement, or you were on the fence about it, right? Whether we would get an expansion until the leaks, for sure.
Yeah, and so I saw those leaks happening, and I saw Bulwark. I was like, I'm dating an artist.
Yeah.
Right? And so I saw the artwork into it. Shit, I have it next to me.
Yeah.
Like, I saw the artwork and the detail put into it. I was like, you can put together a leak if you're really obsessed with it, but that's a lot of artwork to do.
Yeah.
That's hours upon hours upon hours. Like, all the details into that.
Right.
To make a leak.
And even like
so I was like, there's a reason. There's going to be a reason. It's not like the artist, like, out of all the aspects of the art piece that they did for the leak, we're like, oh, right, the eyes are blue. Silly me. No,
dang, gosh darn it. Like,
Like, oh, no, I published it too soon. Dang it. Yeah, the eyes. And
I think the more convincing one was basically what will probably end up being like a loading screen, right, of that city. Yeah. Someone did a really good breakdown on that. Well, someone did a breakdown on that, and even like down to like the pixels of it, they were saying like it looks too convincing to be fake.
And so as soon as that stuff happened, like as soon as the artwork happened for it, I was like, now I believe it's a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to get there.
Right.
But now I believe it's a thing.
And I think especially too because there's a lot of loose ends with WoW Story right now that you almost feel like, well, we got 4 plots that could. I don't know. Yeah. And
even with the cinematic, it doesn't technically tell you what happens at the end of this expansion.
I think that's the most important thing, actually, that the more I've been thinking about it, I think that the most important thing to talk about as far as WoW Shadowlands actually is that there's not much to talk about. We have really, really bare bones ideas of what they want to do, but nothing's really been confirmed or flushed out.
But that's good.
It's good. No,
to the community.
I'm very excited about it. Absolutely.
Proper feedback before it gets launched, way before it gets launched.
Exactly. No, I'm very excited about that. Because half the fun of stuff is theory crafting. I'm not fantastic at it, but it's fun to spitball ideas with friends.
Oh yeah.
I'll
shoot the shit, whatever.
Yeah. But yeah. So, anyways, all that to say, what did you think of the expansion announcement, the expansion trailer?
It was so neat.
Yeah.
The whole battle scene with it and everything that was happening, like when he transitioned, I started getting chills, like thinking about the animation.
Yeah,
it's so good. Old godly, and like he picked up his.
He was ready to throw down. He was ready to throw down. He's like, you don't belong here. Like that would be the look I get.
Know why that was happening though? Like,
yeah,
there was anticipation to like what.
Like that would be the look I give someone that busted in my house, and I'd be like, you don't belong here.
Yep.
This is not where you belong. That would be about my same demeanor.
Yeah. And then such an epic like fight that they had.
Yeah,
like,
it was cool.
Shattering rocks with her arrow, and like he was throwing shit at her, and like did a remorseless winner like hidden his own frost.
That was fun.
Swinging that mace around, it was so epic, so well done. And then when she picked up the crown, like you're not worthy to hold this crown. Like,
right.
You're not worthy to bear it. I was like, if you try to analyze that, like after watching it a few times, it's like maybe that he's too much of a hero to do so.
Right.
to bear that burden.
Well, you got to remember, she called him a usurper. So is she talking to Bolvar, or is she talking about the Lich King himself?
Right.
You know, there's a lot. All the lore nerds are going crazy with it, which I love. I leave that to smarter men, and I just piece it together.
Yep. And
but
so
yeah,
then, like, she picked up the crown. I was like, no, they're not going to do Wrath of the Bitch Queen. Like,
right.
It's not. Come on, like, let's not do that. And then start splitting it, and my brain went haywire. I was like, wait, what? You can do that? What's going on here?
Your brain started doing the same exact thing the helmet was doing.
Yeah, splitting. I'm like, Jesus. And then just like, okay, so she shatters it, and then the sky erupts. I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
Like, why'd you have to go and do that? Like,
where's the Demigorgon? We're going after Will. We're going. It's the Upside Down. Get Hopper.
Yeah. So that was like so crazy, and then how they had it like mirror castle in the Shadowlands.
That's the most trippy thing to me. I'm like, this is interesting, because it's almost like touching.
Yep.
Like it's almost just like
been there.
Yeah.
And it's like we've died so many times in games, being in graveyards, being in the spirit realm.
Yeah. There is a lot of stuff that they have already and are going to have to retcon.
Yeah, you're going to touch up on all of it. It's going to be beautiful.
Yeah, I'm excited about it.
So excited about it.
I think I really feel smart going into that. Once she picked it, I was like, she's going to break it. Like, as soon as I saw her pick it up, I was like, she's going to bust it. So that was my big brain moment. I felt, 200 IQ right there.
Like, I did it.
Because part of me was like, yay me! Pat myself on the back. But I was just like, the Lich Queen seems like the way too obvious fan service-y story route to go to, at least from my perspective, because she has such a loyal fan base, Sylvanas does. And again, I'll stare straight at the camera. I can't stand her. I want to string her up by her toes.
What better way to do it than to have her become the thing she hated the most?
Yeah.
So I thought that's what I was going to rack into.
Right.
Like, oh.
Because again, out of all the things she's always touted and been all about, it's like, she's different from the rest of the undead because she has that free will. And so that was, for me, I was like, if she, I did like the touch of the helmet whispering to her, trying to tempt her and stuff like that, always doing its thing up to the very, very end. But even then, like, just she was not. I could say a lot of things about Sylvanas, but headstrong is probably one of the more positive things I could say about her.
Yeah, she didn't need that crown.
She's headstrong. But yeah, I can't stand her. But the thing is, like, she's written so well that it's like it's the villain that I love to hate. That I know she's written well, and the lady that does her voice, absolute sweetheart, lovely lady. She does that so well. Like, I can picture her face talking through her teeth, gritting her teeth as she uses those piercing, biting words.
And did you see that voice acting panel?
Yeah, that
was.
It was cool.
Neat.
That was cool. That's what's funny is that kind of stuff. It was fun watching Tara and Gregory do the whole thing for Thrall. I was like, huh. Because there's a layer of filters and layers that go into like making those voices sound a certain way, but I was like, that's actually pretty darn close to what the finished product is. Like, I was impressed. I was like, that's cool to watch that stuff act out and to see that scene that was still so fresh in our minds from watching that cinematic just a couple months ago. See that all acted out so well.
When he voiced it, like, he still like stuck out his jaw.
You see his back getting into it. His shoulders were going back. I was like, oh, he's about to throw down.
Yeah. It was really, really neat.
He's about to get messy on stage. But so I'm excited about the expansion. I like that I don't really have a good guess as to what's going to kind of play out. I really, really excited, like, cause I've been binging all the whole week on lore videos and stuff like that, and I think Noble and Bellular put it very well, very, very well in that we're diving into a section of WoW that's never been touched before, and that's the cosmology of it. Because it's not even just space. We're not talking space anymore. We're talking, deities and spiritual realms and all this crazy stuff that's like, to me, is cool. Yep. To me, it's kind of cool. Like, we're messing with stuff that's like, it has the potential to get so crazy that it's beyond even the stretch of the imagination to be like, okay, it'd be like, again, if we had to fight Sargeras, like, it'd be like, you accept it because it's a game, but you're not really excited about it. It was like the Deathwing fight. Yeah, Shadowlands looks fantastic. I think my biggest excitement and concern is always wrapped up into classes. If the game's not fun, it's rough. It's still early, so I think anybody who got the chance to play it at BlizzCon, definitely throw that feedback out there. And as we get more and more access to things, I think that feedback's going to be crucial. Because when we played it on the BlizzCon floor, classes were exactly the same as they are on BFA.
Yeah. We didn't have all the spells and abilities that they had announced were going to be in the game yet.
Talent trees were exactly the same. Rotation was the same. And that's not so much a problem because literally all it was it felt like a way to show off the new zone, which I'm okay with. Because you just wanted to show off your game. This is what the place is going to look like. I am a sucker for bright floating island type zones. As someone who played Final Fantasy growing up, I played a lot of Sonic the Hedgehog. They had like the floating Chaos Islands, man. I'm a sucker for that stuff. I would live on a floating island if that was geologically possible.
Shucks, the cow right over the edge again.
Dang it! Oh, time to get a new one. Gotta have it airlifted. But I just think it's like the coolest fantasy like idea. I love it, and I love how diverse the zones are. I know some people are kind of clowning on the what's the the one that basically looks like Western and Eastern Plaguelands. Nax something. It's basically Nax something.
Yeah.
It's the scourgy looking one. I even think that looks cool. I've always enjoyed Western Plaguelands. I have a love-hate relationship with it. I love the way it looks. I hate questing there.
Give me that on crack.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it. Especially because I might be playing my Death Knight going forward into the next expansion too, so it's cool.
Spoilers.
Yeah, I mean, so I the zones look cool. I love how vastly different they look.
I'm happy we're not on islands again.
Yeah, that was the interesting thing. Actually, almost all the systems that we've had in Legion and BFA, none of them were mentioned that they're coming forward in Shadowlands, right? No island expeditions.
Yeah. Nope.
Obviously, no artifact power. That probably got the biggest cheer out of anything announced at BlizzCon. you saw Grandmen weeping.
They heard just a placeholder word. Like they heard the same shit.
Yeah.
And they're like, boy, please no, just don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
But they did say it's going to have a weekly cap. It is going to have a cap, and it's going to be a small cap, so it's almost going to feel like capping Valor for the week, which is very, very doable.
Yeah,
that's doable. I was doing that as a casual player back in the day who didn't raid, was managing 4 characters, and only wanted to arena. I was capping Valor every week and my conquest points every week on like 2-3 characters.
Let's make sure the newer WoW people know. He said capping Valors. That was actually from Wrath of Lich King. A lot of people might not know what capping Valor means. Capping Conquest would be maybe more current. Showing your age, I can't see the gray hair.
I don't give a damn, man. I cannot wait for this beard to be peppered in gray, man. I cannot wait. I'm all about it. I think I'm not too concerned with a lot of the stuff. The more I think about it, I think initially I was a little concerned with rotations. After that point that when we got done talking with Panda TV about the fact that we potentially might be looking at now 3 expansions in a row where rotations are the same. I think it's still too early. I'm not too concerned about it. I do think we'll see a release next year. Even though when you go to buy the expansion, it says released by December 31st of 2020. Yeah. I still think we're going to see an August, September release date next year.
And I think the other thing to keep in consideration would be that they didn't release a new class.
Yeah, right? That's huge.
So that's when they
or a new race.
So that's when they focus in on class development.
Yeah, which I'm more than happy with. I'm really happy with the classes we have now. I would love to see another range class in.
I wanted to see Tinker. I really did.
Yeah, they're cool. See, I was almost vying more for Shadow Hunter. Just because thematically it would have fit. Tinker would be dope because in Guild Wars 2 they had that engineer class where it was almost like you were a cannoneer where you'd like set up like mortars and bombs and stuff like that.
Yeah, I wanted that. I wanted to have like a completely different like role to play in the game.
Yeah.
It's like where you want to bring like 2 Tinkers to a 20-man mythic.
Right.
And like, oh hey, the tank died, drop a target dummy that can taunt the boss for 30 seconds.
Exactly.
Like what we were
and it'd actually be effective.
like, yeah. And then you'd have to be like a really amazing player to be able to play one well.
Yeah. I would love to see them add more. Yeah, I agree.
Master something new and a different role.
I would just be curious to see how that would even play out in PvP. That'd be fun. Like what role that would play in PvP.
Yeah.
At this point in the game, however, I do think you hit the nail on the head though, as far as really wanting to just hone in on classes. You know, them wanting to focus on class over spec. which has me really, really excited. I'm really trying to not think too hard about what abilities I might be getting back out of my warrior because I don't want to be disappointed.
Your Shattering Throw, that's all you need to know.
Well, we got Shattering Thrower, which means, you know, Paladins are not going to be...
Like,
yeah.
Fuck everything else. I was like crying almost, like Shattering Throw back, because I've been doing a lot of...
Yeah, but you and I both know we want Thunderclap back.
I want Mop Arms Warrior back.
Well, yeah, I mean...
Thunderclap and apply deep wounds to everything, and it's a dot, so it doesn't have a 15 mob cap for AoE. So beautiful. Like, it was a 4-second cooldown. You're just like, oh, cool. The mobs... Oh, 3 more got pulled in. It's okay. It's on a short cooldown.
I would love to see Throwdown back. I don't think they will. Because it's been so long, and it was never like a core warrior ability, but I prefer Throwdown over Stormbolt. Just better fit thematically for a warrior.
Yeah.
Especially if they really want to emphasize this whole, you know, you're supposed to be in there, so be in there kind of play style for warriors.
Make it a minute cooldown.
Yeah.
I think Stormbolt's currently, it might be 30, it might be a minute. They constantly change its cooldown. At one point, I think it was like 15 seconds.
Yep.
But give Throwdown like maybe a punt back.
Yeah.
Of a player and make it on a minute cooldown, and that way you can integrate it and still have Stormbolt.
Yeah.
So that would be a way to still have it there and have that feeling of the class, like back off, like, and so you could just like shove a rogue off the cliff real quick.
Right.
On a bridge.
Like, it's what we all dream of. It's what we all dream of as warriors. So yeah, I think Paladins getting auras back is fantastic. Warlock getting curses back is fantastic.
I like having raid walls. I like having like interactive class stuff in the raid setting.
I agree. I think I'll be curious to see what they do with totems, because totems have always been a bit of an issue for Blizzard to handle, because it's like they're really easy to kill or they're really hard to kill, so they're either useless or way OP.
Yep.
It's just this weird dynamic, but it's such a cool thing that shamans can do that I'm happy to see them getting some attention back.
It's the core of their class.
Exactly. Exactly. Poisons for all rogues should be really, really cool. I would love to see warriors get that third stance back. We'll see, because they really didn't show warriors getting anything other than Shattering Throw. Because again, everything is really, really bare bones right now. But I'm excited about that. I think
as far as warrior things, I want Gladiator.
Well, yeah, I mean, most of us do. But again, I'm the weirdo that wants 4 specs on all classes. I would love to see 4 specs everywhere.
Yeah, and people have thought about that for years. Like, it's like it'd be really neat for one expansion if they just made a 4th spec.
I got some crazy ideas.
And that can be another conversation.
Exactly.
It could be its whole own thing.
Oh man, but I think probably the one thing that has me the most excited about Shadowlands is how they're addressing the legendaries. I think that I don't know if I can say the most excited about, but that was probably the one thing that caught my interest the most. Just being able to craft your own legendary. You're going to require gems, right, from jewel crafters. So I'm really excited about that, integrating professions into making your thing, depending what stats you want and stuff like that.
Part of that's community and like actually having to like network with other people that have certain professions to be able to get.
At the very, very minimum, giving jewel crafters a reason to keep crafting stuff.
Yeah, because at the moment it's not that way. But I think they also announced that with the expansion they would have like these items are going to have sockets.
Yes.
It's not going to be a random chance for a socket anymore.
Exactly.
It's just being too strong.
And they said they wanted to update professions, which I think will be really, really cool. That's got me excited. We'll see how that plays out. Overall, I can see that integrating and working really, really well with the legendary system coming for Shadowlands. It wouldn't surprise me if it wasn't just any old gem you had to pick. Like, you had to have a specific gem for it that you got through, rating, or you got through, your mythic for the week or whatever like that. It wasn't just something you picked up off of a random node, or mining, stuff like that. Exactly. Yeah. It would be and I'd be okay with that. I don't mind stuff like that as well. But that has me.
It's not like too rare of a thing to get obtained. Otherwise, it's going to frustrate people.
Yeah, that's always the big thing.
Like it.
Because everyone more or less is going to need to be able to get access to the legendaries. Because the thing that does have me most excited is that dang tower.
Yeah.
What's it? Torghast? Tolgast? I think Torghast.
I'm not going to correct you because I can't.
That's fair. No worries. It's okay. It's all on me on this one. Dude, I love content like that. Mage Towers were my favorite thing from Legion. This seems like a really cool change of pace for what the Mage Tower's were. The fact that I can do it solo or with friends.
Yeah,
very excited.
Do it and be like, hey, like, what happens if we get a heal in the mix and another DPS? Let's see how well we can do with that.
I agree.
Or like have like a tank rock with 2 DPS. Like you can make different combos and just like have fun with your friends, and how it's like constantly evolving and changing like as you do it.
Yeah.
That's gonna make it so entertaining. I find myself at the moment doing that a lot.
Yeah.
Because of the hours that I play and I don't have a lot of people to play with. Like,
exactly. Well, that's why the Mage Tower was so good for late night streamers. Right. For late night streamers or streamers that were having downtime in between arena seasons, arena matches, or raiding. Let me just go tinker away. Yeah, 100%. 100%. I
spent so long in MOP doing like what was it, the tanking challenge?
Yeah.
Like 30 MS waves.
I remember those. I hated everything about that.
I did the DPS one and did the tanking one.
Yeah, you champion.
And it was so fun, but I wiped on wave 29 so many times. Yeah. It broke me down, but that was part of like what made it such a victorious moment. I remember yelling in my house like, "Yeah, like I did it."
All of a sudden, your dogs are nervous, and your dad's like, "What happened? What happened?"
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. I'm gonna let you get going because I know you want to get your stream going. I'm gonna get the shutdown. Hopefully, it saves and does well. I'd actually love to do this more often. Just do once a week, do kind of a thing, once a week thing, schedule permitting and stuff like that. But thanks for hanging out, dude. Thanks for chatting. Go ahead and take a moment, plug yourself, do your thing, do it.
Hi, I like to drink and play video games late at night. You can usually catch me on Twitch between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Yes, those are ridiculous hours. I understand. I work at a coffee shop, night shift, so I have a lot of things on my schedule, and I try to stream whenever I can, so it's typically those hours. So if you live in Australia, perfect time to find somebody.
He's got that Aussie crowd down.
Yeah, Aussie crowd and German crowd apparently are my two demographics.
Yeah.
Which is fine. I drink out of a drinking horn, and I play well. So
fantastic. You're speaking to my heritage there.
Twitch.tv/Touchpadwarrior. There we go.
Fantastic. Find him on Instagram as well. Plug that one.
Yep. Instagram. There's Touchpadwarrior.
And Twitter.
Same thing.
Fantastic. There we go. We might cover all our bases. I definitely recommend you guys checking out his content. It's fantastic. He is a fantastic friend. Hilariously enough, again, started off I think he liked one of my posts on Instagram, followed him back, ended up meeting over a Pokemon Go event, like in real life for the first time, but we connected over WoW, and it's just kind of been a slow but steady growth ever since then. It's been a ton of fun. So check out his content.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, we're steady. We're slowly clearing content. But yeah, I think you guys have enjoyed the stream. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. As always, I'll catch you next time.